And today we are once again assembled here, and in order to progress up with the topic of working of the institution, the literal doubt which is there in you all is that we should once again discuss with the topic of the President of India. Before entering into this topic, I would once again like to make it clear within you all that the constitution makers at the very first time they thought of, can there be any possibility if elections will not be held? It will become great problem, because election is the only criteria by which something equality can be measured. Each and everything can be measured in that aspect, and then we can appoint such and such type of a post by way of election. For the democratic setup, we find that the office of the president is a must. In India, we see that president is a de jure head and the prime minister is a de facto head. The President of India is a de jure head, he is a nominal head, he is a formal head. The actual power rests into the hands of the Prime Minister. But whereas America is concerned, the office of the President in America, he happens to become a de facto head. The office of the President over here is something same like that of the Prime Minister of India. The entire power rests into the hands of the President over there in America. But in India, we see that the office of the President is simply like a golden zero. Just by name, we are knowing it, it's the office of the President. He is a nominal head. The President of India is not directly appointed by the people, is not directly appointed by the people, rather they are indirectly appointed by them. We are coming to the portion of appointment of the President of India. Rather, the President of India is appointed indirectly by the people. Rather, the President of India is elected indirectly. What is that indirect method? That indirect method is proportional representation. Proportional, anupatiya. Proportional representation. By way of proportional representation, the President of India gets elected. By way of proportional representation. Now you will say, to make it more clear, I would say that what is this proportional representation? The elected MPs and the elected MLAs. MPs, only one place you know, MPs go and get elected and they go and sit down together at Lok Sabha. Maximum 550. But in each and every state, there are variations. There are variations of MLAs. In Jharkhand, we have got 200 and something like that. In Bihar also there are 400 or 500 something like that MLAs. So each and every state has got the MLAs. As many states are there, so many MLAs are also there, according to the constituency, the size of the constituency. From Jharkhand, 81 MPs get elected. 81 MPs, Member of Parliament. From Jharkhand, 243 MLAs get elected. In the same way, from other states also, such many MLAs get selected. Now, what is this paddhati of the process of proportional representation? Suppose, for example, just an example, this together with there are 1000, okay? Just a simple example we are talking. In the entire Bharat, in the entire India, we have got 1000 MPs and MLAs. Basically, looking into the tradition of the country, the culture tradition of the country, the president's name is proclaimed by both the opposition and the majority party. Who is the president of India right now? So he is the president of India. So his name is referred by the majority party. Maximum chances are there that opposition do not oppose the name. कभी कभी oppose होता है. So when the situation of opposition comes, then that time they go for this system, proportional representation. If two people are there, then proportional representation method is adopted. What is this proportional method? Suppose two are there, A and B. These two candidates stand in an election, and Rajesh Singh is an MP of any place. So now I have got the chance to vote. So I will give him 1 and I will give 2. Okay? If there are 3 candidates, so suppose I will give 3 to anybody, I can give 1 to anybody, I can give 2 to anybody. Then you are also one of the MLA. You come and you will give 1 to this and 2 to this. She will come, she will give 1 to this, 2 to this. As many ones, he will become the person. Clear? Clear? As many ones, the person he or she will get elected as the president of the country. Clear? Proportional representation. As many ones a candidate gets, that becomes the libel for the president of the country. That is the system of election of the president of the country. So we are seeing that the president of India is not directly appointed by the people, rather the president of India is indirectly appointed by the people by way of proportional representation, which is not given in your book, but still I made you understand what is the system of proportional representation. All the MPs and MLAs, they stand together, they cast their vote in favor of the president by casting their proportional ratio. Suppose I like Mr. A as 1 and then second option is B. So I will give second option this one. So as many ones a candidate gets, he becomes the president. Now looking at the powers of the president of India. While the Prime Minister is the head of the government, yes, it is the Prime Minister, because entire administration, decision making, law making, or the working of several institutions in India are concerned, everything is guided by the name of the Prime Minister of the country. The Prime Minister is the head of the government. हमेशा दिमाग में रखिएगा. The President in our political system is the head who exercises the nominal power. He is the head of the state. State over here, do not get confused. State does not mean Bihar, Jharkhand, Assam and Odisha and Bengal, and state over here refers to the union, the entire center, that is the country itself. So President is the head of the state and his powers are nominal. The President of India is just like the Queen of the Britain, whose functions are in a large extent ceremonial. Just a naam ka ceremonial, like that of the Queen of Great Britain, because there is also the Prime Minister in Britain, and Prime Minister vests the power in Britain, and the Queen, she happens to become just a ceremonial head. In the same manner, the President of India is also a ceremonial head, although he is regarded to be the head of the state, but all the works that are being done by the Prime Minister. You can, well, in a simple language, we can also say that President is simply a golden zero, a puppet in the hands of the cabinet, or we can say he is just a signatory authority. President of India is a signatory authority. Signature के वास्ते है, मतलब एक नाम, that yes, you are there. That is the thing over here. Just like that of the Queen of Britain, ceremonial head. Now, the President supervises the overall functioning of all the political institutions in the country so that they operate in harmony to achieve the objectives of the state. It is the President of India under whose name the entire working of the institution takes place. The Election Commission of India, the Chief Justice of India, the Solicitor General, the ambassadors, the Attorney General, the admirals of the three defense forces, everyone is being appointed by the President of India. And by his appointment, the persons so-called who are appointed wheresoever, जहां पर भी उसका appointment हुआ हो, that person will impart his duties and function in the name of the President. So, we can say that it is the President of India who is indirectly administering the country, who is indirectly electing the leaders of various other institutions which are working in the country, and by his pen and signature, the person gets elected and the administration of the country goes on. The President, after getting the bill, either it is being passed by the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and when it goes to the President of India, then President has to put up its signature upon that, and that becomes a law, and the very same law then becomes executed by the executive body. There are much more limitations which you do not have to study at this period, but still, in order to make you all understand, I can make it something more clear that any type of a law, any type of a decision making that originates in the Parliament. Parliament comprises of the two houses, which I had repeated yesterday also. The bill gets passed. There are two types of bill, ordinary bill and the money bill. Ordinary bill only requires the majority of 1/3, and whereas some of the important bills though requires the majority of 2/3 to be passed. Once when the bill gets passed, it will finally go to the President of India, and the President of India can just sit over it for 14 days of a time, and after the expiry of 14 days of a time, in order to give any suggestion, the President can stop that only for a period of 14 days. And after when the 14 days period expires, the bill is deemed to be passed, the law becomes into existence. Whatever law, whatever decision, whatever any type of a program or anything are concerned, that becomes a law at that time. So we can say, by looking at this example, we can say that President is just simply merely a signatory authority, because after that he cannot report it back to the Parliament. He has to do the signature. Whosever name is being recommended, either as the Chief Justice of India, or the Election Commission of India, or the names of the High Court judges, or the Attorney General, or the names of the Admiral General, or the name of the ambassadors for the various other countries of the world. Whenever any such names come to the hand of the President of India, then President of India has to give the signature of that. He has to pass it. Clear? He has to do it. Then second more, as with regard to the President is concerned, the President is not elected directly by the people. The elected members of the Member of Parliament and the Member of Legislative Assembly, they all together sit down and by way of proportional representation, they elect the President of India. But there are some of the exceptions also. Looking into the tradition of the country and maintaining the prestige as well as the cultural background of the country, we find that sometimes we get the opposition members in the President. But basically the names are recommended by the majority party, and the opposition leaders also, they come in hand to hand together at the name of the president, and then that name is proclaimed and she or he is nominated as the president of the country without any competition. And if competition arises, what happens? If there exists any competition, then no solution is there. The only solution is going for proportional representation. Clear? That is the election. That is the function. Some more functions we will have to study. The legislative functions of the President of India, the judicial function of the President of India, the discretionary powers of the President of India. Moving into the legislative function of the President of India. Legislature comprises of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In case of simple bills or the ordinary bills, whichever gets passed by the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, the President has to give its signature. The President has to give the signature. But if the President of India is willing to give some of the suggestion or wants to give some of the opinion with regard to such a type of a bill, so the President can, in a written manner, return it back to the Lok Sabha. Now it is upon the Lok Sabha whether to accept that recommendation of the President or not. If the Lok Sabha wishes to accept that, they will modify it. Agar nahi pasand hai, he will not modify it. They shall not modify it. And will once again return it back to the President. And President will have to give the signature upon that. That is one of the legislative functions. Money bill, the orientation, the origination of money bill takes place in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. That is the difference in the money matter. Money bill originates in the Lok Sabha. When the money bill gets passed, the President has to pass it. He will have to put up its signature, and then that bill is deemed to be passed. That money bill is deemed to be passed. Some more legislative powers of the President is that whenever there is a deadlock in the Parliament, yaad rakhega, these are the important ones. Upon any issue, if there happens to be a deadlock, not coming to any decision, that is a deadlock. राज्य सभा भी अपनी तरफ अडिग है, लोक सभा भी अडिग है. Then he will call for the joint session. Then President of India will call for a joint session. Then after calling for the joint session, he will address that. And during the address, the President of India will remove the deadlock. Will try to remove that deadlock by coming into a compromise between the two. Clear? Whenever, as with regard to any decision is concerned, and both the houses are adamant on their point, no, Lok Sabha will tell yes, Rajya Sabha is telling no, they are adamant on any particular thing. So that adamancy will create a deadlock in the house. Deadlock means futile, useless, not coming to any decision. But that is also important. Coming to a decision, that is also important. So at that time, what happens? The President of India will call for a joint session. You have to write this word. The President of India will call for a joint session. He will address the joint session and he will try to remove that deadlock. And finally, the deadlock gets removed by coming to a compromise on any ground. That is also one of the legislative power of the President of India. Another legislative power. First of all, first one we talked about the passing of the law, the making of the passing of any bills in the country. Then the second one we talked about the deadlock in the deadlock. Then the very first session of the Parliament starts with the address of the President of India. After when any new government forms the ministry, or after when the new government forms the government, then the addressing of the very first meeting of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, that shall be carried out by the President of the country. Clear? Third, as long as the Prime Minister has the command over the Council of Ministers, so long the Prime Minister has got the lifespan in the Parliament. जब तक कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर को अपना सपोर्ट काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर से बना रहेगा, till then the prime minister shall rule the country or administer the country for a period of 5 years. And if there happens to be some sort of differences within the council of ministers and the prime minister is lagging the support of the council of ministers, then the opposition will create a passage of no confidence motion against the prime minister. So in that circumstance, no confidence motion, the speaker will preside over the no confidence motion and president shall also guide that. नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन में अगर 281 अगर वो नहीं लाके दिखा सकता है कोई भी प्राइम मिनिस्टर, then that prime minister of the country will have to come down from the office of the prime minister and new by-election will take place. Clear? Then these are some of the legislative powers of the president of the country. The executive powers, that is the appointments and so on. किसी भी देशों के साथ ट्रीटी या coming to an agreement या memorandum of understanding, all such type of things will be done by the President of India in the name of the President of India. Judicial power. Coming to the judicial power of the President of India, the President of India appoints the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the Justices of the High Courts and the Chief Justices of the High Courts of the country. He also appoints the judges of the High Courts and the Supreme Courts. He appoints the Attorney Generals. He appoints the Solicitor General. Attorney General and Solicitor General, both these offices are basically law office. A person who undergoes the working of any law, such persons are known as Attorney General as well as the Solicitor General. He appoints the Chief Justice, he appoints the judges of the Supreme Courts and the High Courts, and also appoints the Attorney General and the Solicitor General of the country. Second, judicial power. It is when a person is sentenced to undergo imprisonment or death sentence, then the President of India has got the power to reprieve, pardon, amnesty, and reduce the sentence of the culprit or the convict if he or she wishes. That is also one of the judicial power of the President of India. I know, and you all also know, that any person can move to 3 jurisdictions of the judiciary: civil courts, high courts, and supreme courts. The 3 chambers are there. If a person is convicted in a civil court, then he or she अपने ऑफेंस को दूर करने के लिए वह अपील कर सकता है कहां? हाई कोर्ट. If High Court may be, the order remains बरकरार, same like that of the civil court. Once again, that person or a culprit or a convict can move to the Supreme Court. और अगर Supreme Court में वही बरकरार रह जाता है, same order, फांसी तो फांसी, then in that circumstance, there is no other step after that left. The only step is what? Pardon of the President of India. Then it is upon the mercy of the President of India, but there are also various processes also. यह नहीं कि सिर्फ President अपना mercy कर दिया. Why? Only because Rajesh Singh is there. He is very good. So no, that is not going to work. It has got several processes also. And after when entire process exhausts, only after the recommendation, the President will थोड़ा बहुत उसमें फेर बदल कर सकता है. If a person is being penalized as hanged, his character is good. His way of living in jail for 10 years are also very good. किसी भी तरह का बदमाशी वगैरह नहीं हुआ हो, तब उस हैंग को जो है आजीवन में बदल सकता है. आजीवन को 10 साल में बदल सकता है. 10 साल को थोड़ा बहुत पेटी ऑफेंस में बदल सकता है. So that can be done. That is upon the mercy of the President of India. So we are seeing that these are some of the judicial powers of the President of India. Then move on to some of the emergency powers of the President of India. Emergency, we have talked about in other classes also. The three types of emergency situation arises in a country. One is a national emergency. Second one is constitutional emergency. And the third one is financial emergency. National emergency. And then we have got constitutional. And then we have got the financial emergency. Whenever there is a threat in the country by some of the foreign powers, पड़ोसी राज्यों से अगर देश पर खतरा हो, then the President of India, after undergoing each and everything, will proclaim national emergency in the country. If in a state none of the government comes in power, in majority power, if in a state none of the parties secures a majority and the single largest party is lacking in few seats, then the President of India will call him to form the government. And if the situation does not arise and if the same party cannot form the government, then the President rule will be ordered by the President of India. And the election will take place in 6 months of a time. That particular 6 months of a time will be guided by the President. And it is the governor of that state who is the agent of the President. It is the governor who will look into the entire political machinery, administrative machinery of that state. 352. Clear? 352 constitutional emergency. When there is President rule in the country, the entire state will not be guided by Lalu Yadav or Hemant Soren or any of the chief minister of that area. Rather, the entire state shall be guided by the governor of that state, who happens to be the agent of the President of India. The governors are also appointed by the President of India. That is the executive power. The governor and the President both are the proportional to each other. And whenever there is dearth of money, whenever there is a dearth of money and there is financial scarcity in the country, then the President of India, after the recommendation of the Parliament, everywhere you will see that it is not the only power, but it is only in the name of the President that such type of things takes place. So, President has to do it. It is with his signature that it is imposed. But वो पास होता है पहले पार्लियामेंट में, प्राइम मिनिस्टर उस पर डिस्कशन करते हैं, then it is sent back to the president, वहां पर प्रेसिडेंट जो है तब अपना सिग्नेचर करता है. तो नाम किसका होता है? The name is that of the president. Clear? In the same way, if the country is facing the dearth of finance, if there is a pain of financial scarcity in the country, then the President of India can call for and make a proclamation to the people, at least to the public servants, that आपके salary से whatever amount he wants to ask them, he will draw it back. So that is the situation of the financial emergency. That time, the working will be taken over by the President of the country at that time. So these are some of the executive, legislative, judiciary and discretionary powers of the President of India. The President of India is a de jure head, he is a nominal head, he is the head of the state, but he is a signatory authority, he is a puppet, he is a golden zero, we can say, but still he is praiseworthy that we have got the President of India in a democratic setup. I hope that I have made you all understand the President, the election, who takes part in the election of that, the powers and functions, and whenever you are discussing the powers and functions, just go with three things: executive power, legislative power, and emergency power and judicial power. And you can also talk about some of the discretionary powers. Discretionary powers, that is the emergency. We are talking about 352, that is constitutional. One more discretionary power, let me tell you. One more discretionary power. When in a state no two party gets a single majority, then at that time the president can invite a person who has got the largest majority. For example, 281 is required, but one of the party gets 279. 2 seats remaining. So he will ask this 279 member, the leader of that party, to form the government. And he will give whatever 10 days of time. Okay, within 10 days you show me the majority. This party is lagging how many seats? 2 seats. And within that 10 days of time he will struggle. Okay, anyhow do aadmi isko mil jaye. So that is one of the discretionary power of the President of India. And if this person attains the 281, then President will proclaim him as the Chief Minister of that particular state. He will choose the leader, and that leader will be chosen, and then that person will be regarded to be the Chief Minister of that state. Everything is sequence-wise. In the center you will find there is the President and there is the Prime Minister. In the state you will find just same like that of the President. Which body is over here in the state? It is the Governor. Just like that of the Prime Minister, which body is there in the state? It is the Chief Minister. Over there we have got the Lok Sabha and the Raj Sabha. Over here we have got the Member of Legislative Assembly and the Member of Legislative Council. The two houses. Some houses are unicameral, some houses are bicameral. किसी किसी राज्य में unicameral है, कहीं कहीं पर bicameral है. I hope you all might have understood, and we'll learn once again. Come with a revision of another class, another topic tomorrow. Till then, best of luck and bye.